Alright everyone, welcome to the first installment of fixing up this 1980s Sun Classic Yamaha golf cart. And I have actually gone ahead and pulled the seat out, the carburetor and the gas tank just to get some of the stuff out away from the motor, because today we're pulling the motor out to change the crank seals. But the crank seals will be in another video. Alright, to start off, I'm going to take the exhaust out. So let's get this very hardened up hose off of the exhaust. And what I have found that works on these fuel lines and other rubber pieces that are attached to the metal to get them off is use some silicone oil. Alright guys, I actually learned this trick back when I used to work on jet skis. If you take like a little screwdriver and you just kind of stick it up inside the rubber to create a gap between the metal and the hose, you can spray your silicone in there, and that should break it free. Look at that. Alright, next you're going to want to take the two straps off of the muffler. For that I'm going to be using an air ratchet and a 12mm socket. Now it does help if you soak down your bolts with PB Blaster first, which I've already done, so hopefully they will come loose. Alright, sorry about the air leak. Now here's the second one. If I can get the ratchet down on it. I have very little room to work inside this golf cart. Alright. Oh, it's off. There it is. Alright, next I'm going to want to remove these springs that are attached to the exhaust flange. Man, that one was a lot harder. Okay. Alright, there is just a quick fitting here, like a cup. There must be a exhaust donut in here. So I don't think it's necessary to take the flange off, at least not yet. So let's see if we can pull the straps. Get those loose. See if we can't get this muffler out. There we go. Wow. Looks like it actually has a couple compression rings on that. Well, now that that's out of the way, I can have a look and see what kind of shape the frame's in. Looks like it's still really solid. I don't see any holes. I didn't see any holes in the muffler either. I do see there's some kind of sketchy connections here. This one looks like it's worn away. So these two I'll probably redo when I go to put it back together. But for now, I want to get the starter generator belt off. So I'm going to have to loosen the tensioner and this bolt right here. The tensioner itself is just a 10mm. Huh, and it's already loose. Well, thanks age. That worked. And then the bolt itself is the same 12mm we used to take the muffler out. I may actually have to loosen the bottom flange as well, but just for laughs, it doesn't move. Huh, it does. So this thing really did need to be completely gone through. There's a lot of loose bolts. There we go. That belt's off. Looks like the only other thing that's actually attached to the motor is the little shutter for the exhaust, which I can detach right here from the governor linkage. I can just pop that little ball joint off. I can take the spring loose just to kind of get it out of the way so I don't catch it. Or actually I might just be able to reroute it. And then I can unplug the coil pack, which is this black wire right here and this yellow wire. They're color coded so you can't get it wrong. So there's that. All I have to do is take that face off, unbolt the motor, and hopefully it'll come out of here. Alright, well, it looks like the clutch is actually seized onto the shaft. So I'm going to have to use the clutch puller to get that off, and I need to get the engine out to use that. There is a way to use it inside the cart, but forget it. I was just trying to get the engine out anyway. So I guess it's just coming out with the clutch on. I'll take the clutch puller to it once it's out. Now I need to disconnect the damper, which is this plastic ball joint, so you just need to carefully roll that one off, fold it out of the way. I'm going to move this spring, which somebody has, yeah, that's not original. So I will unhook that. Well, let's use some pliers or something, huh? I don't want to stab myself with that twisted spring. As fun as that sounds. There we go. Let that hang. Now, I've gone ahead and unplugged the oil injection pump. I'm going to take the oil tank out and clean it and dump all the old oil out, because I'm not going to use the oil injection pump anymore. So I will leave it all vaguely hooked up, just empty. Alright, now I need to get the drive belt off, which I was really hoping to get the forward half of the clutch off, but it is quite stuck. They did not use anti-seize, so I will have to use the old trick of just rolling the belt off of the pulley. So we'll put the camera down. Make sure I can vaguely see what we're doing, and try not to pinch my thumb. Alright. Alright, and now it's my least favorite part of any engine removal: climbing underneath this thing and taking the bolts out. Yay. So, getting down on the floor, move this drip pan out of the way, because there was something leaking. I'm thinking that was the faulty oil injection pump. And we should be able to see, hopefully y'all can see, 4 engine bolts. Ah, there they are. Yummy. Foliage. Alright, so if I can find a way to prop up this flashlight. Ooh, that's better. Take the impact gun. And on this model, they're 14 millimeter. There we go. There's one. Well, I think I'm going to lose the extension. There's one right there. Oh yeah, this is a lot easier now. Yeah, those are going to need to be cleaned up. The heads are really encrusted. Well, the engine started moving, so that's good. And it didn't fall in my face. Alright, the engine is unhooked from everything. I've got the belts pulled away. It's loose. It's that time we can try to lift it, or we can make sure we didn't forget anything. And if we move the engine, just tip it up, you can see there's a wiring harness that we need to unplug. This looks like some quick connectors, and they're all color coded. This must be for the stator. So I will go ahead and unplug those. Alright, here we go. Wow, that's nowhere near as bad as I thought it would be. Hold on, I'm going to slip the engine right here so we can have a look at what all the damn trouble was with that leak earlier. Now it looks like the oil injection pump has seen better days because everything's encrusted. But this is our problem. This had like a domed, I guess, priming cap over it, because it does move a little bit and is spring loaded, but the top is gone. So every time the motor turns over, oil squirts out of this hole. Also, anyone who has one of these carts and is having fuel issues, this is the location of your engine vacuum port. This is where your fuel pump hooks up. Whew, that was a challenge to find when it's in the cart. But that is where the fuel pump hooks up. Not to the carburetor, past owner of this golf cart. Man. But I guess they get a D for effort, so. This is our harness, as hardened as it can be. We have a black wire, what appears to be a brown wire. We have a yellow with a green stripe and yellow with a red stripe. So that just plugs into the corresponding side of the harness. Same colors. So that's not too terrifying. I mean, you can't get the black wrong anyway. That one's idiot proof. It won't plug into anything but the black. Some of these look like they've actually gotten hot, so there's a lot of dirt down in there. I'm going to spray all these out when I degrease the engine. But it's out. Give me a thumbs up if you liked the video. In the next video, we will be taking this thing apart and doing the crank seals. Thanks for watching as always. Stay tuned if you like the golf cart, and I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.